Hi, this is Mr. Max. So oftentimes I'm told that I am not doing enough um, work of junior secondary. So I have two tests that I'm going to um, do. Basically, it's just like revision work, and you can use it to revise as you prepare. Okay, let's just go directly into it. So I have a lot of algebra and mensuration questions here. So the first one obviously involves a bit of sequences, and you can see pattern of numbers. And what we are now looking for in this case is to fill in the missing numbers, empty boxes. Now you would realize that if you were to take 7 and you take away 4, you will you'll get a 3. So basically, to get the next one, you'll just be adding 3. Okay, and also in this case you also be adding 3 to 13, and those are the missing numbers. As you can see, the pattern follows that they are adding 3 every time. Then you have a diagram here. um, Diagram 1 has got 5 dots. Okay, diagram 2 has got 8 dots if you count them. Then diagram um, diagram 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 has got 11 dots. So that means that diagram 4, if you have to look at it, you'll see that you are adding again 3. Okay, because you say 5 plus 3 gives you the next one, 8 plus 3 will give you the next one. So if I add 3, this diagram 4, the next diagram that I have to have the pattern of, should have 14 dots. So I think we are ready then to um, to complete the pattern. So um, let's see. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, just this one. 14. And there's the pattern. Okay. Right, let's go to the next question. That is question 2. With this question, you need to be on the lookout for, an obvious mistake. Once you have this substitution problems, okay, you must realize that all of x squared should be squared. So you have to put this in brackets, because if you were not to put this in bracket, a common um, wrong way of doing this is when you simply do that, and that will be obviously a wrong approach. So you grab your calculator and you go ahead and you put this. This is substantially different from all of x, which is -2, that should be squared, which gives you the positive value. So be on the lookout for this question. Be very careful. This is a common mistake that we see. Right, use the number line below to show the inequality. So the inequality is a number that is greater than -2. So it's greater than -2. So anything greater than -2, of course, maybe I should just not use that. Maybe I should indicate that because it's greater than -2 is not included, but then 3 is included. So you will be shading this part, and the inequality is that. Okay, so because of this or equality that is not here, right? Because you don't have, the or equal to there, so this side will be open, and because again you have got or equal to included here, that means that -3 should be included in the solution. Okay, so it's just one of those things that you have to be on the lookout for. Right here, you would do is you would first distribute, that is 16m, and multiply this. Very careful here. A lot of students have the habit of just writing 1, but 4 times -1 is -4. And what you're going to do on the left side, you're going to collect the like terms. So you're going to have that. And on the side, you take the 17. And because you're moving, so you are adding 4 to both sides. Okay. So at the end of the day, what you're going to be left with is 25. No, we are subtracting. So taking away 16 minus 9, so you just be subtracting the 2 from each other. That gives you, of course, 7m, and adding 17 plus 4 more, that gives you 21. So at the end of the day, you would have that m will be 21 divided by 7, where m is only equal to 3. Right, so just be very careful whenever you are dealing with that type of scenario. Okay, you might hear I'm shuffling some papers around. Again, I'm trying to go as slow as possible. Now, anything rise or raised to the power of 0, all right, is always equal to 1. And in this case, as long as this x is not equal to 0, because you can't raise 0 to the power of 0. For this next one, what you're going to do is you're going to distribute that square. And once you do it here, you have got that 3, so you also have to multiply with that. So that is 4x to the power of 6. Essentially, if you were not comfortable with that approach, so just remember, what does 2x cubed all squared mean? Well, it means 2x cubed times 2x cubed. Okay, and then you have 2 times 2, then you have x cubed times x cubed, which eventually gives you 4, and then x cubed, when you multiply and the bases are the same, you add the indices. All right, and that's how you definitely get to 4x raised to the power of 6. Okay, let's go to the fourth question. You have got a kite, excuse me, and we are asked to calculate the area of a kite. So the area of a kite, you multiply the product of the diagonal. So we'll say diagonal 1 times diagonal 2, and you're going to divide this by 2, or you will multiply by half. This should give us the area. So that means 8 times 6 divided by 2 gives us the area. Okay, and 8 times, that's 4 times that. So that's just going to be 24x squared. So that is the answer to that. Good. You have got a cube. So you are told that the volume is equal to 125 cubic centimeters. So we are looking for the side. And then you know that the side times side times side is given as the volume, or side cube is given as 125. Now, in order to get rid of that, what you will do is you're going to take the cube root of both sides. So you're going to say, wait a minute, I want to take the cube root of both 125 as well as the cube root of the side. All right, so this is what is happening here. 125, well, you can grab a calculator, or you will simply realize that 125 is also 5 raised to the power of 3. So this being the side over here. Right, eventually, the cube root and the cube, they are reverse operations of each other, so they cancel, and then it's just going to be 5 centimeters. Ideally, what you'll do is you'll just grab a calculator, you'll just say, okay, let me find the cube root, and make sure that you have the cube root of 125, and that is 5. Right, let's look at question 6. Tom is X years old. His father is 25 years older than him. So we know Tom is X. We don't know really his age, but we know that the father is 25 years older than him. So This is the expression. There's nothing wrong with you writing the expression like this or like that, okay? It all means the same thing. Now, the sum of their ages, now remember these are two people. You have got Tom, who is X. You have got his father, okay? And his father is X plus 25. Right, so the sum of the ages of these people, so adding the two people's age should give you 51. So we're going to make an equation. Obviously, x plus x is 2x plus 25. That is equal to 51. So that's the equation that we were looking for. Now we're going to find x, which is Tom's age, by solving the equation. So solving 2x plus 25 is equal to 51. So what you're going to do is you're going to subtract 25 from both sides of the equation. Okay, so once you do that, you will end up with 2x being alone over here, and 51 take away 25 is 26. Now from here, it will follow that x would be half of 26, and then Tom's age is 13 years old. That's 13 years old. His age is 13. So we'll just write 13 years old. Right. Question 7. So what you have over here is you have a rectangular view of a house with a door fitted at the center. So if we were to consider the height of this, if we were to consider the height, which is going to be all of this, all right, so that height would be thinking of this distance from here all the way up to here. That distance is nothing but 4 meters. Then again, okay, if you look at the distance from here, which is from here all the way up to, let's say, there, that is 1.5. Okay, so that being said, so if this distance, if you can then say, okay, wait a minute, looking at, if we say this distance all the way from here up to there, that distance there, if that distance is all the way up to here, I believe. Now I might be slightly out of my diagram. I'm just trying to make a point. So if that distance is 1.5 meters, okay, and the whole thing from here all the way up to here is 4 meters, then you simply find the height of the door by simply subtracting the two. Okay, so you'll just say it's 2.5 meters, so you'll just say 4 take away 1.5 meters. Now I'm doing that because it might come up as a question. So the height of the door is 2.5 meters. All right, so let's see what is the question. Find the height of the door. Of course, we have calculated that. That was 2.5 meters. Calculate the perimeter of the front view of the house. Now, all that is saying is you take the rectangle, okay. You can perhaps just realize that this just implies that we are looking for the total distance around the shape. Okay, so let me just bring it over here. Of course, I'm going to make it a bit smaller so that you can see. So basically, the perimeter is this distance, which is also 4, plus this distance, which is 4, plus this distance over here, which is 6 meters, and plus the other 6 meters on that side. So the perimeter will be 2 of these 4s plus 2 of the 6s together. Okay, so it's 4 plus 6, which is 10, multiply that by 2, and that gives you 20 meters. Right. Now we have question 6, which is the last question here. And in here, I wanted to factorize, not just any factorization completely. That means you're going to look for the highest common factor that goes in 8 as well as into 18. That happens to be 2. And then you have an m. So this is 8mp minus 18m squared. So you take the one of the smallest power, grab 2m outside, and then you divide. In order for you to know what would be inside the bracket, you say, okay, that 8mp, now I'm going to divide that by that common factor that I got. Okay, so if you simply do that, you're going to get 4p. And then similarly, you're going to say, okay, wait a minute. If I want to find the 18, so let's take 18 as well. So you say 18m squared. Okay, you're going to divide it by the common factor of 2m. 2 goes there, that's 9, and then m cancel with 1m. So this is the solution that we were looking for when I say factorize completely. It's a very short video, but I hope it has helped you in preparing for your examinations.